Well, good afternoon, everybody, and you might or might not be able to tell from my last video that I now have a cold, and that means it's the end of the world as I know it, because guys and colds, guys and anything like this, typically, overinflated and overdone. But anyhow, I just wanted to touch base because I know that I posted up the first week's itinerary, which is available to you, and you should always follow what is in the um, package that you get. I'm going to call it a package for the online instruction. So make sure that you follow that, your assignments that need to be done and turned in, the time frames, etc., etc. Make sure that you always follow the guides inside of the shell for accuracy. But it's sort of like you put all this stuff out there so you get to read it all inside the shell. Now you're going to be able to read it inside of an announcement. And, my sense is that maybe a little bit it becomes overwhelming. If you're a first time student or even a returning student and you're taking multiple classes, you got to be, oh my God, I have to do all of this. But I'm thinking for the most part, most of you have already acclimated to the idea of what it is that you need to do to accommodate online learning. So first and foremost is to remember, I am an asset and I am an ally in your learning process. So if you have any issues, including the idea of going over the wall and quitting, please do me a favor, give me a call first, 603-944-5404. Make sure you give me a call first so that we can have a discussion before you head over the wall. So with that, looking at Module 1, the learning objectives are what they are. I'm not going to go over this and be completely redundant. Check out the video. The video is a little ancient, but it's accurate. It's not exactly the latest and best Hollywood-produced infomercial, but, when it talks about, who commits crime, causes of criminality, criminal personality, environmental factors in the criminal personality, differential association, forming in a criminal personality, the criminal justice system, and reforming an offender. All right up my alley. Again, it's populations that I've been dealing with for the last 40 years, so we can have many conversations around this. So the important things are watch the video, learn the video, read Chapter 1, and start to get a basic understanding of all the factors that can go into forming a criminal personality. Because, nature versus nurture, are people born bad? Those are the topics that we can discuss during class. My own inherent experience says that people aren't necessarily born bad at all. I think we're all born, even to the extreme, we're born neutral. And I think that we are influenced by those things in society, in environmental factors and family factors that can address what it is that we do with our lives. Whether we go left to criminality or right maybe to law enforcement or somewhere in between where we just become productive members of society. So again, the important takeaways from this is the reading assignment, watching the video. 1.1, the discussion question is really important. You're going to read the scenario and then you're going to answer the questions. What influences a person's motivation to commit a crime? Think about developmental, biological, and situational factors that contribute to a person's behavior. Let me give you a bit of a tip. When you lay out your response and your reaction to this particular scenario, look at that. Look at these 4 areas as sort of like headers. So what you do is you have the first one. What influences a person's motivation to commit a crime? That's a header. Fill out a paragraph or 2 on that. Okay? Then think about developmental, header. Biological, header. Situational factors, header. Then break it down with your narrative inside of those 3. So now what you have is you have a paper that has 4 headers and all of the information pertaining to each subtopic is rationally explained. It makes the format that much cleaner and that much simpler for everybody to understand and for everybody to read. It's just the way that I prefer it. And as I said before, if anybody is interested, I'm more than glad to send you prototypes. I had several students in my previous class that were more than willing to let me share their work with you. So that's an idea. Let's look at that as a possibility. So that's the first one. That's what you have to do. Then when you're giving feedback, and remember, please, give good feedback. Don't make it cookie cutter. Oh, this was good. That was great. This was good. That was great. Follow the rubrics. Look at the categories inside of the rubrics. They're all available to you. That's what I'm going to be using to grade you. So understand the rubrics. If a neutral person was to read your paper and then go to the rubrics, what would they say about your work? Read the rubrics as you're writing your paper. Read the rubrics as you're giving each other feedback. But I can tell you, I don't know how many students I had in previous classes that they would do a good posting and they wouldn't respond. If you look at the rubric, there is one whole category there. And if you don't respond to others, that's a big hit. That can take an A all the way down to a C minus or a C, because that category is a 0 if you don't reply to 2 other people in the class. So just some words of encouragement. Topic selection. And I already know that most of you are going to go in here and you're going to do Timmons. You're going to do the serial killer. Why? Because that's pretty interesting stuff. But look at the white collar crime and look at the domestic terror situation too. Lots of students did great work on that. These people, the scenario that you pick is going to track all the way through this program, all the way through these 8 weeks. So if you start with Timmons, you're going to be writing on Timmons for the whole time. Same thing with Stone and the other categories that are listed there in those 3 crimes. So first of all, make sure that you pick out something that you are generally interested in. I have no preference. It makes no difference to me which one that you choose. I want you to choose something that you're going to invest good time and good quality work in. That's important for you. So again, you're going to go in here and again, describe why you selected the chosen scenario, what type of crime is represented in your chosen scenario, and then just answer the questions inside of the rubrics and inside of the assignment. And then certainly the last one is the chapter quiz. All right, so make sure that you get that done within the time frames allotable, and everything's going to be pretty cool. So as I said in the announcement, I gave you a series of questions. First of all, don't hesitate to call me with any questions. I don't care how simple, I don't care how complicated it might be. If it is causing you stress, if it is causing you anxiety, then it is worth being addressed. Okay? Please take the introduction seriously. Look at it. Check me out. Check out my introduction. Check out these videos. Check out things that I post online. Trust me, if I'm posting something, it's probably pretty informative and something that you might want to follow. Try not to fall behind. These things go by so quickly. And again, with the life happens chapter in all of our lives, let me know ahead of time if you have something going on. I am pretty intuitive, but I can't and I don't know you. So for you to let me know what's going on, we can work together. That's the whole point. And again, I'll have examples of A work, at least A work according to me. And there has to be some objectivity associated with grading. And it's very subjective. I mean, seriously, I've been teaching for 25 years, undergrad and graduate students. Grading is subjective. There's no way around it. I mean, the rubrics make it easier, but there is still some subjectivity. So if you want to know examples of what I think of grade A work, give me a call. I'll email them to you directly. No fuss, no muss, no issues. Okay? And maybe, most importantly, we're going to talk about topics that all of us might not agree with. So again, disagree with respect. That's the only thing I'm asking you to do. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that you're right. But somewhere in the middle, there is a certain rightness. So let's allow people to have their opinions. You know, we all have biases. We all have things that we prefer and things that we don't prefer. But the idea that we can respect each other and model that respect in this class is really, really important to me. And the last one is let's have some fun. You know, I can tell you that in 25 years of being an adjunct professor, we have had a lot of fun. At the Boston campus of Springfield School of Human Services, I am known as the professor of joy. So I like to have fun in my classes. So we're at a little over 10 minutes. I've already gone longer than I thought that I would, but I thought it was important just to have another follow-up conversation. And I just want all of you to know that you can get hold of me. You don't have to wait till we start. If you have an issue, if you have anxiety, if you have something that's on your mind right now, call me right now. Email me right now. Text me right now. Whatever it is that's going to work for you. Doc Frost saying, I work for you. Do not let me school you. This is about co-education. You're going to educate me, and hopefully I'm going to be able to educate you. So with that in mind, Doc Frost signing off from Newmarket, New Hampshire. With a cold. Now I need to go and be miserable. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Guys being gender neutral, of course. I will see all of you, hear from all of you, look forward to hearing from all of you as we start the class off awesome on Monday. Bye-bye.